The Paradigm Shift episode 68. We got a special treat today. Right off the plane, back from Indianapolis. Awesome speaking engagement at a rockstar company that is Kennected. I'm excited for today. Let's get absolutely bananas right now, everybody. Waiting for Big Dave to hop on. You guys know the drill. The real question is how handsome is this cat gonna look? Big Devin, I see you on here, brother. We're gonna bring you on in less than five. Where is our partner in crime, the articulate alligator? Oh, there he is. This sex panther is coming on right now. He's going to outshine me and every other dude on here, but it is what it is. With that rockstar San Diego tan. This is going to be fun. Real fun! Big Dave in the house. The Sex 62nd, man. Let's do this. What are you smiling at, you giddy goose?
I always get excited on Saturdays when you and I get together, and we have not missed a week. What episode is this?
68.
Oh, and I owe you one, as they say. That's awesome.
Yeah. You're awesome. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Welcoming everybody on here to the incredible paradigm shift. We're changing people's perspective, especially with this changes that are occurring in the world. It's a particularly important time to do so. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, and first of all, we're co-hosts, so thank you. Second of all, before we get started on some deep stuff, the obvious question is this. How many sexy salads this morning?
Well, once again, I had Greek food last night, so I went for the gorgeous Greek salads. And I also saw Elvis Presley's movie last night. So I'm way up there on the sexy charts. Let's just put it that way.
I saw the movie myself about a week ago, and I loved it. I'd like to hear what you think too, and I can't stop listening to his music, specifically the song Suspicious Minds.
Yeah, no, I found the movie was extremely well done. Obviously, I knew a lot about Elvis and celebrity, and I think what resonated with me is that, we give meaning to everything we see, and so many people that we look up to or want to be like are sitting in tragedy. They're sitting in interference, and they are not at ease. They're at dis-ease, and that if we don't have clear daily practices, if we don't have a clear mindset, heart set, and hand set, that our extraordinary talent can go to waste. And some of our greatest talents, the people with the greatest skills, knowledge, and even desire, end up in tragic circumstances and even dying.
Yeah, and also you're such a stud, so there's that.
That is true.
Yeah, we're going to bring on a rock star CEO right now. I can't even believe how young Devin is. He's on fire. Great company, Kennected. But before we do, as always, I'm going to hit you with one question. You ready for me?
I'm ready, brother.
As doing a deep dive on your content, which I really do daily, and I highly suggest the whole audience does as well. Dave puts out unbelievable nuggets each and every single day. One thing I saw you talk about this week, which I think was really cool, paradigm shift, is don't be afraid to change your mind.
Yeah, no, I love a good hypocrite. I love someone who I see the next time and they're like, oh yeah, I learned so much since then and I don't believe in what I was saying 2 weeks ago or 2 hours ago. Somebody that has an open mind and open heart and open hands will ultimately be a hypocrite, because those people that are learning are going to change their mind. They're going to change their mind to put it into a better place, a better situation, or make their situation better. I love hypocrites. I look for fast learners. That's what I hire for, fast learners, people who are willing to learn by making mistakes, having setbacks, failures, etc., in order to accommodate a greater good, a more accelerated place, an expanded nature. And so it's really important to make mistakes and to change your mind.
You really are a sophisticated squirrel. It's unbelievable.
That may be my favorite one.
We're going to bring on dynamic Devin right now and get rocking. I was just in Indianapolis a couple hours ago speaking.
Really?
And saw Devin, spent some quality time with him. Awesome human being and really exciting company, Dave, that I know both of you and I both use.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yo! What it up? What is up? What's going on?
There he is. Dynamic D. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. I just got done cycling 30 miles, so.
No big deal.
Would that take you an hour? Would that take you an hour?
No, a couple hours. Yeah, a couple hours. like a
Which car?
16 and a half average mile per hour. So
D, that doesn't look like the Ferrari.
yeah, 16 mile an hour is pretty good. It's been a goal of mine to average, over distance for a while. So I was at 14. I'm at 16 right now. I had almost 10 miles at 17 and a half. So, we're getting better.
I love it. This is awesome. And let's dive right in. For the audience who might not be familiar, Devin is the founder of an awesome company called Kennected, which works a lot with LinkedIn and helping leads generation, stuff like that. And he's expanding right now to other platforms. D, one of the things that you always talk about, and it's very obvious that you practice what you preach, is if you play small, you stay small. And you, my
Yeah.
friend, are one of the big thinkers I know. How important is it for the audience today to think bigger?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately burnout for an entrepreneur comes from thinking too small, in my opinion. So ultimately, if you hit a wall, there's not enough motivation or something that's scaring you enough to keep you going, right? So, with thinking big, first it was, I want to run $1 million business, then a multi-million-dollar business, then it was $100 million business. Now it's $1 billion business, right? You got to keep elevating, got to keep stretching, just like today, I did not want to ride 30 miles, to be honest. I really did not. I was out late with you, Craig. I hung out with the daughter this morning. And so I got up, it's like, I'm going to go do 10 miles, right? And I'm like, dude, this is thinking small. The average person can get up and ride 10 miles. So I rode 30, right? So ultimately, thinking big controls everything. It controls the goals that you set. It controls the energy that you carry forward, and it helps you avoid burnout long term, in my opinion.
Yeah, great answer. Dave, why'd you make that face when he said we're out late?
I just didn't think Craig Siegel could stay up past 10 p.m. So it was nice to know that you have it in you to stay out late. And if you're going to stay out late, you might as well stay out late when you're in Indianapolis and with Big D over there, because he knows how to maximize the productivity, accessibility, and gratitude of all times, including going out late at night.
Yeah, no, we had fun. I got him trying a cigar and everything, so it was awesome. Give him the best steak in Indy, Mr. Tony's Steakhouse. He loved it.
That is awesome.
Dave, what are your thoughts on constantly stretching yourself to think even bigger? And sometimes I catch myself, like, I don't know if it's imposter syndrome, but oh, I can't do that. And then I catch myself and say, well, why can't I do that?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so funny because, there became a time in my life where I started what I call infinity plus one, that instead of living in a zero sum game where there are limits of any type, that the limits that I put myself into are the 24 hours of time, pragmatic productivity time that I have each day. Beyond today, which is limited by 24 hours, I then live in a relative time zone. So my past is extraordinarily relative because I can give meaning to the past, a positive perspective to the past, by taking the greatest nuggets out of the past and utilizing them in the other realm of relativity, which is the future. The future is expansive. It's not in a zero sum game. It's in a value add game. And the value add is by asking for help adds value to the people that you ask for help from and to you and anyone that witnesses it. And so for me, the expansive nature of the universe in the past and the future are why I put that infinity plus one perspective on what I do. And I'm constantly asking myself, like you, and I actually have changed everything I do to expansive doing. Everything I say is more than $1 million, more than $1 billion, more than 100 billion, whatever it may be, because that's expansive in nature. So I won't think, say, or do anything that has limitations unless it applies to the 24 hours that I'm given today. And that changes my beliefs, which actually changes the way I feel. It changes my inspiration. So I'm in spirit in an expansive universe, not a limited universe, a limitless one. And look, I want to add this on too, because I work, with you and Devin and a lot of younger people. I'm practicing this stuff too. I limit myself all the time. I'm like Devin. There's mornings where I wake up and I'm like, because I have a minimum of an hour a day on my health. I don't want to do it, right? I don't, and I'm like, you know what? I'm a little less even aggressive than Devin. I just tell myself, All right, just start doing it for 5 minutes. If it sucks bad enough, then quit after 5 minutes. I've never quit after 5 minutes, and I've never finished an hour on my health that I've said, man, I wish I did not do that. But yes, the first 5 minutes has sucked many times in my life. But by the time I get to 5 minutes and say, you can quit, I'm already going, and there's no way I'm quitting.
Yeah, that's it. This is awesome. Straight gold on a Saturday afternoon. Um, yeah, I want to acknowledge both of you for two things. Number one, both of you guys, better than anyone I know, really exercise this superpower that is consistency. I'll start with D. How important is that to you, and when did you realize that that's a superpower in itself? Is just being consistent.
Yeah, consistency is everything. When you're chubby, your mom's a factory worker, and your dad's a drug dealer. You have to be consistent to get out of your ecosystem and in your own way and in your own beliefs. So I was never really great at anything, but I was consistent, which made me good and above average in a lot of things. And when it comes to business, you have to stay consistent. And I see a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners, and I don't blame them or fault them. I'm not judging. Will have a big win and then vacation, big win, vacation, big win, vacation. But in my mind, the only way to keep going is to ride the momentum. The difference between a winner and a champion is riding momentum. And it's okay if you are living that type of lifestyle with your business, but it is just that it's a lifestyle. It's going to be hard to create enterprise value at scale when you're constantly hitting the brakes and taking a break just because a little win. And by all means, stack small wins, celebrate them, but you have to be consistent. And to get a little more practical and down to the day-to-day, I never let myself go more than 2 days without super consistent schedule in my workout, my day-to-day, my check-ins, my gratitude, my follow-up with my business. Now, it is a must for me to have at least 24 hours sometime within my week to kind of shut off from business. Not my workout, not my fitness. I'm consistent there 7 days a week. But business, I personally operate the best with 24 hours of no business, no conversation. It's typically on Sundays.
Devin's got nuggets today, Big Dave.
Yeah, well, it's funny because you asked me about my number one superpower, and then someone in the comments asked about my number two superpower. So I'll deal with the number two superpower. They're asking if I pass gas. Yes, I am an expert at that. If you'd like to talk to my wife, it is one of my superpowers. I have an extra security system in case someone tries to attack me. I can hit them where it counts. So yes, no problem. But my true superpower, my number one, is consistency. And unlike Devin, I only do this because I understand the quantum nature of the consciousnesses, the quantum nature of conscious, subconscious, and unconscious, and the aggregate effect. As Einstein, and I study Einstein and continue to study him, the aggregate effect of how things compound on themselves. And so for me, although Sundays is a day where I've inversed the amount of activity I get paid for, the amount of activity I don't get paid for, usually, sometimes it isn't even inversed, but I will do a minimum amount of time on my non-negotiables, which is a minimum of an hour a day on my health, no matter what, 7 days a week, a minimum of an hour and 7 minutes with my family directed towards different individuals relative to who and what they are in my family. Obviously, my 3 teenage daughters get the least amount of time. But then I also spend a minimum of 10 minutes a day paying attention and giving intention to the activity that I get paid for by studying my calendar, reconciling time into productivity, accessibility, and gratitude with the activity. I don't think that anything I do is right for everyone, but I'm sharing what works for me in a quantum nature because things aggregate on themselves. And it's a zeroing effect in physics. If you don't have attention and intention on something, it gives a zero effect instead of getting the exponential effect of 0 to the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh every week. When you have a zero effect, it takes you for that day. X to the 0 power is 1. It takes you back to a starting energy, which is okay because on repetition, if you're doing 6, X to the 6, X to the 0, X back the next week, X to the 6, X to the 0, you'll still aggregate an effect far greater than most people on earth. But if you want to get true exponentiality of empty mile, the minimal amount of time towards everything that's important to you each day not only works for me, but mathematically is in a quantum theory is actually a scientific way of getting more exponential results.
Yeah, I'm just puzzled. I don't know if you're more wise or more adorable. That was an awesome answer.
I'll go adorable and smelly. And so I like anyone that will ask me about farting because I have like a 6-year-old sense of humor. And I don't shy away from the good questions like that. Does Dave Meltzer pass gas? Yeah. So you got to lean into those questions, Greg.
Yeah, hell yeah. I know it's Saturday. I want you guys to spend time with family, so I'll land the plane with this one. And I want both your answers because after spending time with Devin yesterday, and Dave, of course, I've seen this from you from the very beginning. When I first came out to meet you and I sat in on a meeting, both of you do this really well. And I think for entrepreneurs, anybody building a business out there, this is so overlooked. It is the culture of your brand, of your company. You guys put such emphasis in doing that, leading by example, keeping everybody positive and so forth. I will start with you, D. How important is culture?
Wait. I got to stop you. My name starts with a D too, so you're confusing the shit out of me.
Well, hold on a second. I never call you D.
All right, just checking.
Devin Johnson, DJ. Let's go
DJ.
Let's go D. You know,
just call me DM, dum.
Yeah, guys, culture's everything. I mean, why would you not spend time on the energy that's created in your workplace or your ecosystem? Because you spend most of your life in it, right? So if you're not paying attention to it, if you're not supporting it, if you're not giving the attention that it needs, the love and the care, people ultimately spend 60, 70% of their lives inside your 4 walls as they're working their careers with you. You have to give them a lifestyle in the upper mobility that they want, or ultimately you're just creating a show up, paycheck, thank you, bye type of mentality. And that's not it. I've never worked a corporate job, so I don't know anything other than what I know I want. Does that make sense? I do have that blessing working with me, but my core value number 1, if you walk into my conference room, says lead from the front. So when it comes to culture, I can't talk about your well-being, your mindset, and be 300 pounds. That's why I went on this fitness journey. Like, you have to be the best version of you as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a husband. You got to show up in all areas of your life and play all out all the time, right? And it ultimately will create a buzz and an energy that people will gravitate towards, or you will intimidate them and they'll be eliminated by natural elimination. And then it was never meant to be for that person to be in your life. And that's happened many times as I've been growing my business.
Such a good answer. And the word I was thinking when you just said that, creating a buzz, is it's contagious. What about you, Dave?
I just want to compliment DJ there because he is wise beyond his years. And most young entrepreneurs are most concerned about, making money and money is their God. And I know that DJ, from working with him and his great company, that they've built a culture, and a culture is a consciousness. It's a collective consciousness that has great power when it's aligned with attention and intention. Great coincidences occur. The coinciding of a culture, of a consciousness, is how we make more money for everyone, not just for him, but he is like I am. When people in his company buy their first house, it's of a greater joy than when he bought his own house or his own car. And I share in that sentiment greatly. And I think it's important to clearly indicate, is if you walk around DJ's office, you see reminders of the culture, of the values. And for me, it's simple. It's gratitude for perspective. It's forgiveness for peace, accountability for control, and effective communication for inspiration, and then effectuating those with daily practices, giving and empowering people with how to utilize the culture, the consciousness, and the values that you're empowering. And so we are all leaders because we are intelligent followers, and we allow ourselves to meet people where they're at, listen for what they need, and elevate others to elevate ourselves with that culture consciousness and coordinated, collaborated movement. I want to thank both of you guys. I'm just a little bit jealous. I know there's no need to be jealous. It's one of the ego-based consciousnesses, but I am jealous when two of my favorite people get together in one of my favorite towns and stay up past 10 o'clock with a good cigar. So don't forget me on the invite list. You never know. Remember, I got property there. I got family there. You got to remember, always include Uncle Dave. He's a good time. At least I'll go home early, but I'm a good time till I fall asleep.
Yeah, baby. Consciously, I was like, man, why isn't Dave with us last night? But, so.
Awesome.
Right on.
Guys, for the audience, go check out Devin. Go check out Kennected if you don't already use it. Dave and I do. Awesome company, and they're just getting warmed up. Love you both so much. Thank you guys, as always, for joining us on an awesome Saturday. Love you guys.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Take care. See you soon, both of you. Bye-bye.
See you later, you Sex Panther.
That's so good.
So good. Awesome conversation. The Paradigm Shift, episode 68 in the books. Big Dave, as always, speaking from the heart, on fire. Leslie in the house. And guys, Devin, I can't even believe how on fire he is. Such a young cat, but so wise beyond his years, as Dave attested to. Definitely go check out Kennected. Go see all the amazing things they got going on. Like I said, they're just getting warmed up. And just awesome stuff all around. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week for a big one. The Paradigm Shift, episode 69. Do us one favor for the rest of the weekend. Sharpen the axe, get focused, and think bigger. And if you have a limitation come in, literally look yourself in the mirror and say, why not you? Okay? Solutions, not problems. Love you guys. Have an unbelievable weekend.